Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you may be joining us from. We're so happy you could join us today to celebrate the landscape of women's environmental and climate leadership that is growing and thriving here in the US and US territories. Thank you so much for being here for the Women's Earth Alliance 2022 US Grassroots Accelerator community event. Aloha mai kako o kahea ko inoa no honomu mai au makamaku o keawe o ea hoi ka makupuni o Hawaii nei. Hello, everyone. My name is Kahea Pacheco, and I'm a co-director here at Women's Earth Alliance. I am from a small community called Honomu on the eastern side of the island of Hawaii, though I'm currently residing in the district of Puna on Hawaii Island, where we are witnessing the powerful and sacred birth of new lands as one of our Mauna Loa, which is the largest volcano on Earth, continues to erupt for the third day. So I personally am very happy to be here today to honor and work with those who are stewarding our lands with such care and such respect. Throughout today's event, you'll hear from other members of the WIA team, as well as those leaders, as well as, directly from the leaders within this year's accelerator cohort. And since you'll be meeting us, we want to meet you as well. So to get a little more related, if you haven't already, I'd love if everyone could find the chat box. It'll be, down at the bottom of your Zoom screen. Just find that chat box and say a quick hello. Maybe share your name, where you're calling in from, and we would love to know if you're here supporting a particular leader. If if these are one of your colleagues, please go ahead and add that in. I see we have some people from previous cohorts with us today. Brady, Jenna, Ola from Oakland, yes. Hello from Redwood City, St. Louis, just really everybody from Los Angeles, Oregon. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here with us. And please keep those introductions rolling in. And while that's happening, and before we dive into today's call, I just want to share some quick notes about caring for our virtual space today. So here on Zoom, we have things set so that everyone is muted upon entry. If you have questions or comments about any of the leaders as they share their work and their vision, please be sure you're using that chat function to let us know, as our team will be monitoring it. And if you need any technical assistance, please let us know in that same chat box, and our tech manager will reply directly to you. And finally, while we're gathering virtually today, and while WIA has a global team located around the world, our home base is located in what is currently known as Berkeley, California, in the San Francisco Bay Area, but what is also known as Huichin, the ancestral and unceded land of the Chochenyo-speaking Ohlone people. And I want to thank our Ohlone relatives for allowing us to call that place home. WIA recognizes that these are stolen lands, and we, as an organization and as community members, have a responsibility to do all that we can to be good guests of these land and its original stewards. And while land acknowledgements are an important first step, we believe they must always be followed up with action. And in Huichin, we take action by naming the ongoing and normalized colonization of indigenous lands, by speaking the original name of this land, by collaborating with local Ohlone leaders like Karina Gold, the spokesperson for the Confederated Villages of Lejeune Ohlone, who is also a designer and facilitator in the US Grassroots Accelerator, and through our Shumi land tax, which supports our colleagues at the Sigorte Land Trust as they do the important work of rematriating their lands. And we do this because we envision a future that is not only thriving and sustainable, but one that is just. And we encourage our entire community to understand the long-standing history that has brought you to the lands where you stand, to seek to understand your place within that history, and to support Indigenous land rematriation efforts within those territories. So thank you all for joining us in this very, very important work. Now, to take you through today's agenda, I'm so pleased to turn things over to WIA's co-founder and co-director, Melinda Kramer.
Thank you so much, Kiya, and welcome everyone on this beautiful day. We've all been through so much this year, and to be in this moment right now, and I'm so grateful that we're all here together. So we have a really exciting event for you all. We're going to begin with an introduction to WIA's U.S. Grassroots Accelerator, which is why we're all here today. We're going to get to hear from one of our alumni, which will be a real treat. And then the big moment of getting to hear from this year's leaders. I can't wait. I can't wait for you to meet these incredible leaders. And then you'll hear how we can get involved and further and deeper in WIA's work. And we'll end with a beautiful poem. So by way of background, for those of you who don't know, Women's Earth Alliance is a 16 going on 17, which sounds like a song, but we're launched in 2006, and we are a global initiative that trains, resources, and catalyzes grassroots women's networks to protect our environment and to build healthy, safe, and just communities now and far into the future. We were founded by 30 women from 26 countries who dreamed of a world where women leaders protecting the earth were supported and were united. And every day at WIA, we bring that dream to life, each of you, all of us. And we know that this work we're doing is not new. For millennia, women have been the bedrock of the care economy, nurturing our families, laboring to better our societies, and stewarding the earth and its precious natural resources. And, every day as we see the climate emergency intensifying, so does the burden on our world's women. And yet, from these front lines, women leaders, many of whom you will meet today, are designing these solutions from the ground up. This past year at Women's Earth Alliance has been a very important one. WIA leaders from around the world have restored critical ecosystems that are under threat of disappearing forever. WIA leaders have won important fights to secure land protection and the rights of indigenous communities and lifeways. WIA leaders have brought our voices to the World Economic Forum, to the UN Commission on the Status of Women, to COP27. We have stopped dirty energy and destructive dam projects. WIA leaders have distributed food and water and health services to thousands of people who are still suffering from the pandemic. And WIA leaders have planted thousands of trees, launched communal forests, and built economic alternatives to forest destruction. And all the while, WIA leaders brought more leaders into the fold, lighting the grid with solutions that we all know our world desperately needs.
So today's event and the 2022 US Grassroots Accelerator as a whole would not be possible without our next two speakers who will take you through more about the US Accelerator program. So Daniela Perez is the director of WIA's North America and Pacific programs. She joined our team just this year and dove right in, bringing her powerful vision, her leadership, and her incredible care to the accelerator and to the fabric of WIA as a whole. So please join me in welcoming Daniela when she comes on. And we'll also be hearing from Kiya Leake, who is WIA's Program and Development Coordinator. This is Kiya's third year of coordinating all of the many, many details of this program. And as any of the leaders over the last 3 years will tell you, she holds this space and cares for our leaders so incredibly well. So thank you both so much for all the heart-centered work you do to breathe life into and support this program, and for your dedication to amplifying women's environmental and climate leadership. And with that, I'm really honored to pass things over to Daniela and Kiya.
Hi, everyone. I feel the need to inform you that I'm fighting a little bit of a cold. So my voice is going to be a little low and slow today, so that I'm able to share really with all the heart that I have for this program, and that you can feel the energy that I feel, and passion for the work that we've been doing this year, even though I may not be able to project as loudly as I would like to. As soon as I start projecting my voice, it just doesn't want to do it. So thank you for your patience for that. And really, leading this year's Accelerator program, it has been an honor for me. So I first want to really take a moment to thank our leaders and to let them know that I have received as much from them as they have from our programs. In Latin America, there is a popular saying that says that they tried to bury us, but they forgot that we were seeds. And through this program, I have gotten to know the frontline leaders, women who are those seeds. And it's been such a powerful experience to see all their visions grow roots. Really, this is what we've been doing these 4 months together, is seeing these visions take up space and root and create beauty in this world. So I'm just humble and grateful that I've been part of it. And really, I want to thank also we as co-directors and our staff, because it wouldn't be possible for us to lead this program from all the ways that it's been shaped in the past by all of you too, all of the alumni that are here and all of the people that are part of the community that have shaped this program as well. And as you know, and you may not know the details so much, but through this program, we've been supporting leaders through different modules. We've covered topics all the way from strategic planning, ecological design, impact tracking, resource mobilizing. And I have like favorite memories from each of these modules, powerful speakers that have come up to share. And we've really been able to form a beautiful community out of those calls, out of those modules. Just today, I was in a phone call with one of our leaders, and she told me, I know what you're doing. And she said something along the lines of, this program, it helps remove chains of your brain, really believe, make you embody, believe that you can do this work. And I think it's because of our alliance. It's because of the power. I'm not going to say like, oh, I made that happen, or Kiya made that happen, or stuff, because it's the power of our alliance that made that happen. And women need this alliance in order to create change in our communities, to lead environmental work, but not really to just only accelerate individual solutions, but to get really resourced by this power of the collective we are forming. And I'm just so excited to invite you to today to feel that energy of the collective power we've been building together. And I bet you'll get to get a lot of goosebumps from the leaders and what they'll share today. And I'm just so proud of y'all. Like, you've been doing amazing work all these months. And so it feels like a big celebration for me today to see you shine and to hear your voices out loud and proud, sharing your stories and your visions for this world. And with that, I would like to reintroduce Kiya Leake, my collaborator in this journey, and just have a second for just sending Kiya some love and appreciation, because really she's the one that's taught me my job and has held my hand along the way all this time. For the US Accelerator, Kiya works mainly in communications and production, and it seems like a lot of coordination. She does a lot of coordination for this program. But in all of the ways and all of the work that Kiya is doing, she's holding space for magic to happen. And so I know that all of you in some way have been touched by this magic that Kiya weaves. And today, because of my boys not being super strong, Kiya is even stepping up a little bit further and helping us host this call in another way. And I know that Kiya is not your favorite thing to do some public speaking, but you know, this is part of the magic that you bring. You show up, and every time you show up with a force that, you know, cannot be messed with. And I'm excited for us to pass this along to you. So with that, I'm going to pass it on to Kiya, and she'll share a little bit more about our about what's next in our event today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that beautiful introduction. I'm over here blushing. I know you can't see it, but thank you. It's really been a joy working with you, Danny, and it's been such a joy. I feel like each cohort that comes in adds to the magic, adds to the energy, and you can see it build as time progresses, and as we get larger and larger. And I look forward to continuing that pattern of the magic that we share. It is so great to see you all here. So thank you for joining. Now I'd really like to introduce a video, a very short video, sharing a little bit more about our accelerator program and what leaders have received from it and what they've received from each other. So.
We are what make up the global community. It is grassroots. That is where it's always started. That's where it's always begun. So in supporting this, we support the world that we want to create.
Just love watching that video. And I'm so happy to share a little bite size of what our program brings and what the leaders bring to the program and to one another. And now I'm so happy to introduce this very, very dear person in our community, Yakuta Poonawalla, and she is an alumni of our US Accelerator, and she is the community program manager at the Golden Gate National Parks Conservancy. Yakuta has just always brought this energy of space making, of healing, just rooted connection to the earth when doing her work and also building relationships. And I feel like you feel that every time she enters a room, even a Zoom room. So, so thank you for joining us. And I'm so happy to pass it on to you to share space with us and also to welcome this cohort into our network. So. I'm happy to you, Yakuta.
Thanks, Kiya, and greetings and warm welcome to all we are sisters, all the new sisters, all the old sisters who I've had an opportunity to spend a lot of time with on Zoom. My name is Yakuta, and I'm here because Via came into my life in the heart of the pandemic when all of us were facing many different challenges I live here in California and wildfires were raging. And the question that was on my mind was, how do I feed my soul when I am constantly feeling like I need to feed my soul to do the work that I want to do, to serve the communities that I want to serve, and to serve the natural space and the natural world that I am nurturing and caring for. And Via came into my life and started to one session after another by meeting all the other Via sisters and being in community and in space with everyone, started to give me the tools to really answer that question of how do I feed my soul, and then how do I feed everyone else's soul. And I wanted to share two stories very quickly. I know I have only 2 minutes. This is a photograph. Can you all see? This is a photograph of women in the southern part of India, which is where I grew up. Both these photographs, and the women here with their family, with their communities, are doing an artwork which is made of rice flour, and it's called kolam. And it's this very intricate geometrical designs inspired by nature. So women wake up at dawn every morning, use this rice flour, and as a community start weaving these designs. And because it's made of rice flour, in a few hours, all this hard work that they put in, the energy that they put in, disappears. Because all the insects, all the little creepy crawlies will eat this rice flour. There'll be human movement, city and urban life movement, and it disappears. And then the next morning they wake up and do this again. And the next morning they wake up and do this again. And this is a ritual that connects them to the natural world and helps them know that they together have the ways and the solutions to feed themselves, to feed their families, and to feed 1,000 souls. And so I wanted to share this story because being in space and in community with Via allowed us to do that. It allowed us to think about our impact, not just on ourselves and our families, our immediate families, but also to the water sources that we're taking care of, to the birds, the bees, the plants, the trees, and bringing love and compassion, and knowing that we have each other to care for each other, and knowing that we can share ideas and creative ways of thinking about the work that we want to do. And the last story, I brought this, I love show and tell. So I brought this other painting that hangs on my wall. This is a painting done by the Warli tribe in Maharashtra, the state that I grew up in. And it shows such a collective way of living. This is a local tribe there. And you can see a thriving community, supportive of each other, caring for each other, everyone doing their tasks, but also everyone having fun together, everyone respecting the natural world, everyone respecting their roles and responsibilities. And I share this with you because these are the values that Via brings and Via creates in the spaces that Via holds, and these values are what we take, and then we expand the circle and we build communities like this thriving Warli community, or build women's circles like the one that you saw in this kolam book. And so I'll leave you with that thought and intention, that without these spaces, without us coming together, we wouldn't see the values that we see in the work. We see compassion, we see love, we see joy, we see the fire, we see the magic that Kiya so well brings. And all of that is possible because we come together, we remind each other that each one of us has this within us, and then each one of us has the ability to then spread and widen that circle. So may our circles continue to widen. And I welcome all our new Via sisters. I can't wait to see all the magic you've created, and just wish each one of you all the joy towards the end of the year and the beginning of the new year. There we go.
Thank you so much, Yakuta. We always love sharing space with you. Appreciate it.
Me too.
And we look forward to all connecting together in the future, connecting all of our wonderful cohorts. And with that, we'll be moving on to hearing directly from our leaders this year. I'd like to introduce our first group. Thank you. And I'd also like to pair a quote that we felt encompassed. During the program, they all kind of have mentor small groups. And so we'll be introducing people by those small groups. So the first quote, "The revolution must be resource." That includes taking care of people. If you prioritize people as a part of the work, you solve the problem. Tamara Tolles O'Loughlin from Climate Critical Earth. The leaders in this group are working at the intersection of health, safety, and the environment, and embody this quote through their work. And I am so excited for you to hear from them directly. So, oh, and I also wanted to mention that one of our leaders couldn't be here today, and so I'll be sharing a recording in her place. So with that, we'll kick it off with Dail.
Hi, my name is Dail Chambers. I'm the founder of Yayo Arts Collective. I'm also a founding member of Civic Arts Development Corporation. We're so excited to bring beautiful, healthy living to North St. Louis, a vacant and food apartheid area, through native plants and pollinators.
Thanks so much, Dail. Alyssa.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alyssa Carpenter, and I am the chair of Citizens for Arsenal Accountability. In 2020, I lost my thyroid after going to school near a military burning facility that practices open burning with chemicals like lead. Our community has skyrocketing rates of cancer, disease, and other illnesses from the exposure to this toxic burning. Children attend school less than a mile away from this burning site, breathing in those toxic chemicals every day. We deserve safe and healthy places to live, to grow, to play, and to learn without the toxic pollution threatening our futures. I am accelerating community awareness of the dangers of open burning to protect future generations and move towards safe technology to end open burning. Please reach out if you would like to learn more.
And Shanae. I can go ahead and share Irene's now.
Good afternoon from the newly and newly lands here in Idaho. I am Irene, Ruiz, co-director of the Idaho Organization of Research Councils and a former farm worker. I envision a world where farm workers are given a voice and are seen as human beings in the climate justice fight. The biggest goal is to ensure that farm workers are protected from extreme heat, from smoke, and from increased pesticide use. We must protect farm workers who put food on our tables and who have sustained us through it all. Thank you.
All righty. I love hearing from Irene. And we're going to move on to our next group, our group 2. So if we can share them. And also note that we'll be sharing follow-up with each of our leaders' contact and et cetera. So any work that resonates you, if you want to reach out to anyone, we'll be sharing that after. So group 2, I have seen rivers that were brown with slip become clean flowing again. The job is hardly over, but it no longer seems impossible. Wangari Maathai. The leaders in this group are working to protect our climate in holistic ways and making sure we continue to make the impossible happen over and over again. So I'm excited to hear from this group. We'll pass it on to Crystal to start us.
Hi, I'm Crystal Sanders-Alvarado, founder of Seaworthy. My vision is titled Strategies for Healing from the Nonprofit Industrial Complex, a healing retreat for Black, Indigenous, queer, and trans people of the global majority. Nonprofit institutions, regardless of intention, perpetuate violence by catering to funders' agendas and promoting false solutions that serve to uphold the power of the ruling class and white supremacist colonial capitalism, the root cause of the climate crisis and the social injustices they claim to be solving for. Seaworthy is addressing a deficit in healing spaces for oppressed and ostracized changemakers to openly discuss and heal from these injustices while affirming and uplifting each other in the absence of institutional oppression. And gratitude to WIA for supporting us in building this vision.
Thank you, Crystal. Maya, you're up next.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maya Batres. I use she, her, ella pronouns. I lead GRID Alternatives Global Storytelling Efforts. GRID is the nation's largest nonprofit installer of renewable energy in communities that are most impacted by pollution, climate change, and economic injustice. To date, we've installed renewable energy for 28,000 households in tribal nations and across the United States, and we've placed more than 2,300 individuals into jobs. My project is focused on bringing more diverse storytelling to the efforts to increase access to renewable energy as an economic and environmental justice tool. I'm really grateful for this space.
We're grateful for you, Maya. I'm gonna pass it to Grace.
Hi, my name is Grace Tuttle, and I'm the Programs and Development Coordinator at Protect Our Water Heritage Rights, or POWER Coalition. And through my initiative, Cultivating Appalachian Advocates, I'm accelerating the grassroots political power that so many Appalachian people are ready to build. Our beloved region has been exploited and pigeonholed into divisive stereotypes, but folks are bravely bridging those divides and remembering that when we unite across them, we win. I'm called to empower people to become systems change advocates, see climate justice, and build solidarities that work for us. Thank you.
We are stronger together, Alyssa. Sneha is next. Thank you, Craig.
Thank you, everyone. It's really great to be here and to share space with all of you. And I've learned so much through the program. So my name is Sneha Ayyagari. I use she, her pronouns, and I work at the Greenlining Institute, which is an advocacy organization that's working towards a future where communities of color can build wealth, live in healthy places filled with economic opportunity, and are ready to meet the challenges posed by climate change. And my work through this accelerator was to help develop an equity strategy for a program that advises entrepreneurs, community groups, and governmental agencies on equitable clean energy technologies and policies, really bringing social equity and racial equity into technological innovation funded by state programs. Thank you.
Thank you, Sneha. I'd like to, and thank you all of you for sharing your share out. I'd like to pass it on to Daniela for a quick energizer. That's what we're calling them.
Yes, we want to make sure that you all are taking care of yourselves throughout this event and that you're making space to receive all of this wonderful information that is being shared. And really, it's more than information, it's power. It's power building because of the stories of the leaders who are sharing their word and who are, putting aside their nerves and putting aside some fears to share with you their authentic visions for the world. So in this energizer, I'd like to invite everybody to just place your hands on top of your chest and take a deep breath in. And a deep exhale, relaxing your body and really bringing in some attention into this moment, some attention of how your body is doing, how your heart is doing. And perhaps if it feels good, inviting a sensation of gratitude to take over your whole body for a second. A sensation of gratitude for the women who are leading work in this world that sometimes feels exhausting, that sometimes feels energizing, that sometimes make us grieve and feel angry, and we still show up and we bring our dreams forward. And with that energy and with that feeling, we can invite a sense of gratitude for this work. We can feel part of it. We can feel part of each and every one of these initiatives in our hearts, in our bodies. We are showing up for this work. I invite you to take a deep breath in. And then with an exhale, I'm going to pass it on to Kiya so that we can continue hearing these stories.
Thank you for that, Daniela. It's definitely important to pause. We recognize we have a lot of people here, but may you drop some names down. May you drop some initiatives down, and remind yourself who you want to follow up with, who do you want to tap in, who do you want to learn more about, and so that's why we're all here. So, with that, I'd like to introduce our next group, our group 3. And the quote that made us think of this group is, if you have come here to help me, you are wasting your time. But if you have come here because your liberation is bound up with mine, then let us work together. Lila Watson, and Australian Aboriginal leader. These leaders, the leaders in this group, are working on the intersection of access and education, and in powerful ways working towards this collective vision of mutual liberation on this earth. And so Stephanie couldn't be here today, as well as Rochetta, but we do have a recording at the end to share with all of you. We'll start off with Sumedha.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sumedha, and I founded the Wisconsin Citizens Climate Lobby chapter, specifically focusing on engaging and educating youth. So we do work in education, and we've created curriculum that distributes to local cultural and community centers that's really focused in environmental justice. And we just believe really strongly in hands-on and community engagement as a form of learning. So a lot of the work we've done and hope to continue to do, especially with younger kids, has been in art and conservation projects, and just really building that dialogue early on.
Thank you, Sumedha. Vanessa. We'll move on to Vanessa. Or we can give a little more time and share Stephanie's video instead.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie Rivas, California Regional Coordinator at the Climate Initiative. The vision that I hope to accelerate through this program is for more people to talk about climate change, particularly urban BIPOC communities who are on the front lines. Focusing on youth as the next generation and future elders, my goal is to co-create spaces with them to bring community members together and hold conversations that will lead to action, thereby developing youth leadership in climate advocacy and solutions building, fostering intergenerational collaboration, and advancing community resilience.
Alrighty, we're gonna move on to our group 5. I'm sorry if you hear a fire truck in the background. Struggles of living in the city. It's gone now. So our group 5, when given authority within food systems, women often redefine and regenerate them. Thus, a key climate action pathway is revealed where 2 major solutions overlap: the transformation of global food systems and the empowerment of girls and women. Paul Hawkins from Regeneration. All the leaders in this group are working to transform and regenerate our food systems and connect our knowledge back to the wisdoms that have already been found for generations. And so I'm happy to pass it on to Johanie to start us off.
Hello. My name is Johanie Rivera-Zayas. I'm an islander and I love soils. I work with land managers to help them to adopt climate smart practices and sustainable practices to maintain and increase their soil health and food security in territory islands. I also support the creation of data science tied to supporting the stewardship and policymaking of island, natural, and working lands. My vision is to support farmers, ranchers, and foresters to achieve resiliency and for islands to achieve food sovereignty. Mahalo and gracias to Kiya for this space.
Thank you, John. I feel like you have so much solidarity and we all love soils as well. I'm going to pass it on to Georgia.
Thanks, Kiya. Hey, everybody. I'm Georgia Tunioli, and I'm really excited about shifting our food systems to local, resilient, biodiverse networks by tapping into Los Angeles's unused green space. Nearly a quarter of Angelinos are food insecure, and as some of the largest landowners in LA County, schools have the potential to become a paragon of circular food systems. Building off of our existing community garden and composting project, I'm accelerating this vision by planting fruit trees and parkways alongside the Environmental Charter School in Inglewood. I'm committed to fostering an LA that provides fresh food access for all and honors our ecosystems. Thank you so much, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And I will now pass it to Jane, who, I can't believe is joining us. She's been having some health issues recently, but she is graciously here with us. We're so happy to have you.
I appreciate you guys bear with me, and we'll make it through this. My life has changed forever. My son's life has changed forever. My son can no longer play in the rivers and harvest the natural medicines which our people have done for centuries. He's now a 20-year-old man with kidney disease from Gen X and PFAS contamination, which are forever chemicals. I'm Jane Jacobs, founder of the Eastern Woodlands Protectors and a member of Alliance of Native Seed Keepers. My responsibility is to protect the land and the water for the next 7 generations. How I will start to accomplish this is to provide reverse osmosis water filters to low-income families like myself, so other children don't have to go through what my child is going through, and holding these businesses accountable for the damage that they have done so we can heal the land, so we can heal the soil, so we can heal the people, and we can be strong. And I thank you for your consideration.
We had a couple of technical difficulties, so we're going to move on to our next group. Art and creativity have a very special way of allowing us to tap into the things that have caused us some of the most deepest of pains and wounds, and allows us to release them. Love speakers. All the leaders in this group are embodying how art and creativity are powerful, and what a tool they are when it comes to transformation. Naima and Ranjani couldn't join us today, so we're going to invite Nikila to share.
Hi, I'm ready. Okay. Hello, my name is Nikila Badua. I'm a freelance cultural community artist, arts educator, and land and water protector. I often work under the guise of my street art alias, which is Mama Wisdom 1. I believe that to change the course of environmental and socioeconomic harm, that it's important to address how we're shaping society as a whole. And within that, how we're shaping the next generations. Many youth who are reliant upon educational systems rooted in a legacy of colonial capitalism. So in response for the program, I've been working on a project called Cultural Community Arts and Ecology, which focuses on elevating indigenous knowledge, cultural relations, and community building, and creativity as foundational to educational reform. I want to invite you, during the program, I started an Instagram page about a month ago, and I want to invite everyone to join that page to follow the work that I've been building on. The Instagram handle is cultural.community.arts. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikila. We appreciate you. And we've definitely been loving the posts that you've been bringing so far. So definitely encourage everyone to join and follow Nikila's work. We've had such a large story with her, and we're happy that she's been able to join our program this year. With that, we'll be moving on to Daniela. Yeah, thank you.
Well, I don't know about you all, but just hearing everybody's messages and visions has me all excited about all the things that will happen in this world because of this moment, because we really are made for this. And I know that it feels like I'm repeating a slogan because that's our slogan right now. We're living this mission of being made for this moment. And I can feel through everybody's vision and everybody's voice that all of the goals that are being set through this program will happen, and will happen twofold. Like, I really believe that. And it's because of the collective support that we're building today and throughout the program, really. But I think that whenever a group of people come together, it's for a reason. And the reason is the earth. I believe that the earth brought us together today so that we could collaborate and that we could co-create visions of power that will eventually lead to the earth's healing. And so with that, I want to invite everybody who feels comfortable to turn on their video, whoever's not doing that. And for this Energizer, we're gonna, everybody like virtually put our hands together just for a second. And imagine as if we are all in a collective circle and we were together in person and our hands could actually touch. And if you want to bring your attention to your hands, to the power within your hands, the warmth, the temperature of your hands, and you could imagine the hands of another person in the circle touching your hands. And in this way, we are forming a collective circle that will lead to the earth's liberation, to our liberation, to our health and our healing. And in this moment, for anybody that's in this circle that's needing some extra support, we're sending it to you. We're sending love, we're sending health, and we are here for your vision and your story. We are your support circle. So thank you so much for her holding virtual hands with Kiya. And I will pass it along to Kiya for our next group now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dan. Feel like it's so important to inception and pretend. I feel like I do it so much now, just pretending we're all in the same room. So thank you for that moment. Before we move on to our next group, I'm actually going to read a share out from Ranjani, one of our participants from like our arts sector, because she's been having connection problems, been having some tech difficulties today. So I'm going to read it for her. My name is Ranjani, and I lead the band Lil Aile, a musical duo that uses sound, music, and visual media to tell stories of our shared ecology and gently ask, what do we owe one another on a warming planet? As a musician, songwriter, and climate advocate, I have seen firsthand how art and music has the power to transform our perspectives, share our differences, and uplift our hopeful spirit in the environment, especially at a time when understanding our role in our climate crisis is crucial. Our work has been featured in environmental programs like Intersectional Environmentalists and the Nature Without Borders Film Festival, and we continue to explore the nexus between climate connections, art, and community. We'll make sure to share a link so you can check out Ranjani and her group's music and how they're merging music, art, and climate, which we know we all need more of. And with that, I'll be moving on to our next group. our groups. And the quote that inspired this group is energy follows intention. When we come together in times like this, we're setting intention as well, and we're opening up that energy to feed one another, to be able to find those spaces and believe in them again. Remember that we have to believe when we're giving these instructions through our gut, through our hearts, through our minds, that it means to act on them. It means warrior up. Do what you have to do and be a good ancestor right now, so that when history looks back at us, I'm just gonna be so proud of us. And that quote is actually from one of our participants who couldn't be here today, Casey Camp, during one of our Ripple series that some of you may have sat in on. All these leaders in this group are demonstrating us what it means to warrior up and be good ancestors right now. So.
Dichwatas Nanokans Gaiwas Juliette Jackson Gee. That greeting was in the Modoc language. It means good day, everyone. My name is Juliette Jackson, and I'm a member of the Klamath tribes, also Mono and Hopa. My tribe's located in Northern California, Southern Oregon region. And I'm a Justice Catalyst Legal Fellow. And what that means is the organization Justice Catalyst is funds projects focused on social justice lawyering. And so they're funding my fellowship, which is kind of like a postdoc. And my host organization is the Center for Biological Diversity. And with the support from the center and other partners, my project is focused on bringing pro bono legal services to tribes in the West Coast interested in the return of their ancestral lands for ecological conservation. So why the West Coast? Besides that is my home. It's actually home to the largest concentration of Native Americans in the continental US, and also California is home to the largest concentration of unrecognized tribes. So I care about my project deeply and personal reasons, and thank you all for listening to my pitch. Septikacha.
Thank you, Juliette. Morning Star, you're up. No, we're around back to Darshan.
Chimisanwi, Morning Star Galley, Yakuta Chi'i, Ma'ajumawi is Chi'i. My name is Morning Star Galley, and I serve as the California Tribal and Community Liaison for the International Indian Treaty Council. I've also founded and I am the director of indigenousjustice.org. I have dedicated over 25 years in supporting the protection of Setitla, known as the Medicine Lake Highlands. My heart work focuses on protecting sacred places for Indigenous communities and uplifting the voices of California's Indigenous peoples. So Sulai for the opportunity to share, and visit us at treatycouncil.org and indigenousjustice.org for more information.
Thank you, Morningstar. Darshan, how you doing? I can see you.
Blessings from Borican, a lovely island in the Caribbean Sea that most people call Puerto Rico. My name is Darshana Lina Campos, and I have the honor of gardening with some of the grandmothers in my local community of Cabo Rojo. As a medicinal gardener and seed keeper, I founded Somos Semillas Antillanas to help my people practice and preserve the lifeways of the indigenous Black Caribbean. Thank you.
Thank you, Darshan. I'm glad we hear you share. And with that, we'll be moving on to our last but not least group, our group 7. Water to me is just a perfect metaphor for a pathway to peace, because the smallest planet and the richest man are equal in that we need water to survive. What an amazing place where we can agree. Forget everything else, we agree on that. What an amazing place for us to set a foundation of cooperation. Gemma Bulas. All the leaders in this group are working on the collective protection of our waters. And as we all know, water connects us all. So I'll be passing it on to Jenna to start us off.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jenna Valente. I'm the Director of Advocacy for the Healthy Ocean Coalition, which is a grassroots community working to protect and restore ocean health through support and action. And the vision that I'm hoping to accelerate through this program is uplifting our community members' voices and advocacy efforts. We are in a constant state of learning and understanding our members' advocacy goals, pursuits, and lived experiences, allowing us to meet them where they are and help support their journey to ensure their wisdom and expertise are heard by decision makers to inform and influence policy.
Thank you, Jenna. We'll pass it on to Tanisha.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tanisha Swift, and I work at the Bay University Project as the Field Stations Program Manager and the co-founder of a community group called Water Women NYC. As culturally diverse as New York City is, we are lacking in the representation of BIPOC women recreating and advocating for our water. And as a Black woman who grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and who's seen how the oceans has changed my life, my vision is to connect young women to the marine environment to develop the next generation of environmental stewards. Thank you.
And how important is that? Ayyana. We might be having some more technical difficulties, but I forgot to mention Rosel can join us. But like I said, we'll be sharing more follow-up information about how you can connect to these leaders and how you can just learn more and hop on the train because we need you. We need your connection. We need your hearts in this work in order to move forward. And so with that, I'd like to pass it on to Amira. Amira Diamond, one of WIA's wonderful co-directors, and who helped found Women's Earth Alliance and made this accelerator possible, voting in from Indonesia. And so I'm so happy to hand it over to her.
Thank you so much, Kiya. Thank you, everyone. Such an honor to be here today. My heart is pounding. I'm like nervous because I'm so moved by the power and just immense care that's in this space. So humbled by the work of each and every one of the leaders in this year's accelerator. I think it's clear from listening to everyone how obvious the solutions are that are being implemented and how necessary they are for us to be able to be food secure and to own the land that's under our feet, for us to be able to educate our children and live in health and drink water that is clean. These are really, really basic things that we're asking for today. And it's just incredible to me that these requests even need to be made for support of this kind of work. And yet we are still in a world that just is learning how to celebrate and center and honor values that we really want to forward and leave for future generations. And this is a community of leaders who is thinking not just for the next generation, but that's thinking 7 generations and beyond out, that has strategies that are meant to protect life on this earth that we stand upon. One of the things I've been thinking about as I'm hearing everyone today is, the reality that grassroots solutions and community-driven solutions are central to solving our world's climate emergency is not a new thought for this community. And yet what we're finally seeing is that the philanthropic world and that business and a lot of the global leaders are beginning to recognize that this is the key to solving our world's challenges, that the innovation that rises from the ground up, that the diverse leadership at decision-making tables is in fact critical. And so what we're learning now is that our ability to map and measure and track the impact that we have is really critical. And one of the things that our accelerator program does is walks leaders through a process of really being able to look at what their impact is, and not just from the goal of trying to do what a funder might want done, but being able to set our own metrics of success and say what success looks like for our communities, and looking at things like the Sustainable Development Goals and how the work we do every day in our communities is synchronizing with efforts that are happening around the world. You know, there was a recent report that came out from Rockefeller Brothers, what gets measured gets financed. And I think that it's a catch-22 for us, because we don't want to just measure things so we can prove that we're worth something. But actually, when we measure what we're doing, what we're recognizing as a global alliance is just how powerful and critical the work we do is. And so that exercise that leaders have gone through in the last several months of being in this program is really reflecting back to us how needed what we do is, and how much what we're doing in, you know, in the US and the North America right now is synced with what's happening in Indonesia, where I'm standing. Right in my screen, you can see the rice fields that are surrounding me right now as I'm in Indonesia working with the Indonesia leaders here. We work in 36 of we have leaders here from 72 organizations that are in 26 of Indonesia's 37 provinces, working, doing very similar work to what we're hearing today is happening in the US and US territories accelerator. And so what I want to call for today is for each and every one of us who's here to be a weaver, to really value the investment of relationship and to connect the dots that we are connecting across the regions where we work. That it's not just dollars and cents that makes this work happen. It's also the very real relationships that we form over time that allow resources to move and uplift what's happening from the ground up. So whether you're someone who's in this accelerator program and moving into the role of alumni, or whether you're someone who's a longstanding supporter of Women's Earth Alliance work who's on the line today, let's take this moment to really identify the leaders and the people we want to connect with, because it's through those relationships that we're going to be able to move our communities forward. And we have the ability to change the statistic that right now, a recent report from the climate change group within the International Institute for Environment and Development found that with only $1 in every $10 committed from climate funds for local climate action, climate finance is failing to get money where it matters. That's $1 in $10 is actually making it to local level climate action. And that's a statistic that we can change. And we change that statistic through relationship, and we embolden the work that we're doing when we trust and when we invest. And so I want to just encourage everyone on the line today to pick several people that they want to follow up with and start building the needed relationships so that we can have our movements rise from the ground up and protect our earth for future generations. Thank you everyone for taking the time to be here today. And I look forward to the ripples of change that I know are happening from us being here together. And there will be a list of all the organizations that's shared in an email that allows us to continue the work of connecting with one another. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amira, for sharing that with us and for making that call of support. Oftentimes I feel like women leaders, we feel sometimes uncomfortable asking for support, but this community is a safe space to do that. And I've learned that a lot in my time at WIA. And so, yes, I want to echo that call for support and call for community that that you're making, and invite one of our accelerator leaders from this year's cohort, Nikila, to share a poem that she so lovingly has offered to share with us. So Nikila, are you ready to share?
Yes. Yes. Actually, I really haven't written much in the past like 15 years, but I did come across a poem that I read at a previous accelerator and I had just happened, let's see. So yeah, what I was just saying that I wrote this the morning of I think last year's accelerator closing. So I'll share this. Thoughts flow through the vessel, poetry aligning frequencies with nature's symmetry, override the metaverse. Creation is in the palm of our hands, the core of our hearts, and the depths of our wombs. Never forget, life is sacred. Who we are becoming as this world slowly yet quickly dissolves life force into artificial binary codes. In a world of instant gratification, 5 seconds to deeply inhale the scent of a flower is at risk of becoming obsolete amidst a generation impatient within the push of a button. So what of the children and their children, and so on and so forth? What of the water, land, fire, and air? What of our bodies and minds? On the front lines of an elemental war and the mining of consciousness, it is said that the human potential cannot compete with the future of artificial intelligence. As an indigenous woman, I beg to differ, inspire to innovate, and strive to protect the sacred. For one of the biggest threats to the status quo is a spiritual, cultured woman equipped with not weapons of mass destruction, but tools of mass creation. Beginning with our very wombs, the center of the seat of our knowledge and innate intuitive wisdom. We all come from a womb, lineages of the matrilineal. In the midst of decolonization, it is important to recognize, from Europe to Africa, to Asia, and to the Americas, global colonization has been a direct attack upon the woman. As womb carriers, we give birth to not just the children, but to hope for a new generation, hope for a generation of Earth guardians. In this time of the Earth going through levels of chaos, remember, the Earth is giving birth. So just breathe. Rematriation. It is said the soil is the digestive system of the Earth, fertile and alive. What are you eating? What are you feeding? Understand this. Amidst a world of insatiable expansion, the true ancestral source of all that is exists beyond the laws of constant change. It is unchangeable. It is immutable perfection, free from the desire, reasoning, or need to attain anything more. It is always accessible. In that space between the breath, there is a river, and I will meet you there. Thank you. Ashe.
Thank you for that beautiful poem, Nikila. I am just in that river with you too, and we are all there. And I just appreciate your wisdom and your voice. And I want to invite people in the chat for these last couple minutes that we have together to share something that you found inspiring in today's call. And we will read it out loud. We want to hear your thoughts about what you want to uplift from what you heard, what voices inspired you. Climate justice is truly a collective action. Yes, I agree. Anybody else want to share something? the love between the WIA presenters. I'm sorry for the silence there. My voice was having a little bit of a moment. But all the voices, all the hearts, it is the alliance that gives me hope. Yes, me too. Mackenzie says, all the different issues that are being tackled. It feels like we have all of the solutions in this room to build the better world we are craving. I agree. Jenna says, I'm so grateful for my co-heartmates. You all are so brilliant. Thank you to WIA for offering us this space. Yes, you're welcome, and thank you for being in this space. Women are always on the front lines of climate action. Yes, Cassandra. Sharing is all generations. Yes. Our collective power is real. Tammy, I have been so sad and depressed about our climate crisis. Thank you for showing me hope in action. And we will continue to do so. Nikila, so grateful to feel supported by this container of women. Jeanette says, hearing all the women's voices and the passion they have for this work gives me hope for the future. I love hearing about the importance of art and storytelling in the work we do. The rice flower art is so beautiful. I agree. Feeling grateful to learn and share, care, and support with all my cohort members. Also, all the non-binary womb-bearing bodies are here too. Yes, thank you for calling them in. Every word and opportunity in WIA space felt invaluable. I feel so lucky to share and receive in this community. I feel lucky too. Creating a circle together and feeling this community and care, even virtually. Yes. It's very, very challenging to tell others about your project in a few words, but you were also well prepared to do it. Thank you for giving us the seeds of the future forests. Yes, such a challenge to share your story in few words. Thank you for uplifting that. My sister said that us women are just built different. Our feelings connect to the earth and the moon, and we just know how to care for things. We are the caretakers. You had mentioned something like that earlier. I just think that us being here is enlightening and confirms what she said. Yes, thank you for bringing your sister's wisdom into the circle. Protecting the water and creating food security are basic needs that we're asking for, and we are starting to be heard. We are making an impact, and the data validates the truth. Yes, thank you so much. An honor to bear witness to your stories, your actions, your passions, and your commitment. Feminine, I mean to include all non-binaries. Oh, that was a correction. I see that. I am observing the inspiring and powerful energy from this space. Beautiful magic. This is safe and supportive space to ask for our needs to be met. Yes, so grateful for this space to hear and learn from such an amazing network of powerful women doing sacred work. More inspired to be a good ancestor now, one with the intergenerational effort required at this time. Thank you. I feel honored to learn from so many climate and earth warriors, and to WIA for being so intentional about how this space is curated. Thank you, Tanisha, for that. And thank you everybody for showing up and for sharing your comments and for continuing to support Women's Earth Alliance and really protecting this life in this, our only home. Thank you so much for showing up. I want to encourage you all to visit our website. We are doing a campaign right now for our Giving Tuesday event that started yesterday, which really shines a light on the fact that we are made for this. We are made for this moment. on this planet. And I appreciate all the WIA leaders that showed up today, really well prepared to share their stories. And we will be sending a follow-up message with the recording from the event and a resource sheet that will include the women and a bit about what they're working on and how you can connect with them in the future. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here.